You're getting tired of spending an awful lot of money for toys that seem to fall apart after a few months, or else they need batteries, or they need a complex set of instructions to put together. Well, we have a partial alternative. My guest is Marcy Myers, and she's a home economist with the Maryland Cooperative Extension Service. We're going to talk about homemade toys. In fact, we've got the ingredients for some homemade toys right here. We can play poultry farmer with this one, I suppose.
We can play dairy farmer with, well, we really couldn't. These aren't exactly ingredients, Don. These are the toys.
Oh, this is it. This is the final form.
Right.
Okay.
This is what my children played with. It's good enough for my kids. It's good enough for yours. The thing is, the whole philosophy of toys. What are toys for anyway? Why do kids play? They don't do it just for fun.
I guess it's a diversion.
Well, it's been said that play is children's work and toys are their tools. That sounds, you know, kind of corny, but it's true. They're playing for a purpose. They're learning a lot. Even tiny babies who are touching things. For instance, plastic hair curlers. As long as the plastic is soft and not brittle, a tiny baby could learn a lot from this. They're learning how things feel, how they taste, mostly, up to a year and a half. And common household things, as long as they're safe, can be wonderful toys for children. In fact, you have to check on purchase toys, too, for safety, to be sure there aren't sharp edges, aren't little pieces that are going to come off. So if you're going to have to check anyway, why not go with the free stuff?
And none of these things need to be assembled either. They don't run off of batteries?
No.
That's great.
Really, our box here, which is a shoe box, very brightly colored and appealing to children. Different age kids can play with this and have a wonderful time.
It's not a shoebox then when a child plays with it. It's any number of things,
It can be anything. It can be a monster box. I'm afraid to look in. It can be building blocks. Kids will stack up boxes like this or put things in them. Cans, too. Button collection in there. Or it can be an anything collection. If you're really a creative parent, you can decorate these things.
Are you talking about really young children like preschoolers?
Mostly, yes. Once kids hit school, they get a little sophisticated. They've also been watching television.
5-year-olds are sophisticated today. That's it. They watch television.
That's right.
And they say, you know, I want some of that.
Sophisticated, expensive toys advertised. And a lot of times, the toys that are really pushed are not fun for kids at all and not educational. If it has a battery and does things by itself on the floor, you can watch it a day or two, and after that...
Well, the problem is they're designed by adults.
That's right. And most adults are much too grown up.
Okay, now let's start looking at some of these things an item at a time, because all of these came out of your house. I mean, you know, you didn't really have to do a lot of planning to bring these things with you. All right, this is a potato chip cylinder that's been covered with, I guess, some kind of wrapping paper.
To make it attractive, although the color of the cylinder itself is bright and cheerful, you can cover it with plastic coated paper, and this makes it washable too, and this is a safe thing. Little tiny children may have a wonderful time peeling this off. I'm sure you've seen children who unwrap Christmas presents and then play with the wrappings in the box while the
forget about the present.
Yeah, the expensive toy, battery operated from grandmother, sits on the floor.
This is good for carrying things too.
Oh, and it rolls. And babies that are crawling can roll it and they'll follow it.
All right, now this is a pie tin.
Yeah.
In fact, this reminds me of something when I was a kid. We used to take aluminum trash can tops, and you know they had a handle on them. They had made a great shield, you know, when you were
sled
King Arthur and his
icy
knights,
weather. Sure. A little kid's favorite place to play, I think, is right between and under his mother's feet in the kitchen floor. Doesn't seem to mind water dripping on his head. Love to pull out pots and pans from the lower cabinets and bang them, feel them, chew on them, push them around, generally make a terrible mess. But they're learning something while they're doing that. And on the other hand, they're right there where you know what they're doing, too. So with a little bit of forethought, you can put safe things in those lower cabinets that they can open.
Now, you put something together here. Most people throw these things away. Margarine comes in them and any number of things in the kitchen. But I've seen toys like this where you had one item nestled inside of another.
$5, $8, $10 for 4 or 5 of these. They come in more colors, too. Things that fit together. You can see where that's an educational thing. You can't put them together this way because that one won't go in.
So it teaches a child relationships and sizes.
Right, size, shapes, and so forth. Again, I can't stress too much the safety factor here. These are that soft plastic that aren't going to break.
I can't figure this one out.
Well, that's a little more
It looks like a clear plastic egg, okay.
You're just not at that stage yet. That's okay. This is a come-apart puzzle type toy, just an example of a good toy that is a commercial product. This one's a little sophisticated. That means that I can't do it. My children can. But there are simpler puzzles of this kind that will absorb school-age children. And again, like this with a tiny child, is teaching them space and shapes. This is doing the same thing for older kids.
Well, this looks like something that wrapping paper comes wrapped around.
Yeah. And kids can build, again, with boxes, empty boxes. Build all kinds of wondrous things with tubes. Cut them up, glue them together, cut holes in boxes and stick them through there, and only in their imaginations do the real things exist.
The whole point then is that not so much these things are inexpensive, but the fact that here's something that can really stimulate your child's imagination and creativity and the things around the house.
You have to use yours a little too, to see toys or playthings in ordinary objects like this, a sand scoop out of a plastic milk bottle.
Now, when I was in elementary school, not too long ago, we used to take these things and paint them all different colors and use them to make
Christmas tree
right.
ornaments.
You cut out the cylinders and
jewelry
people don't think about
boxes
that
for little girls, spray paint them, you know, and line the little sections with cotton, and they put all their little junky jewelry in there, and they think that's wonderful. And they've made it themselves, and that's the important thing. They've done something.
Now, something like this, is there a chance that a child could hurt themselves on a kitchen utensil? I mean, this doesn't have any sharp edges particularly, but it's hard. You know, a young infant might.
I wouldn't give this to a tiny baby. I was thinking of this kind of down in that bottom cabinet with the pie pans and the saucepans and so forth, of something that'll bang, make a good noise. You could hurt yourself if you fell on that, but it's not going to come apart. There are no small pieces.
Thanks, Marcy Meyer with the Maryland Cooperative Extension Service for being with us. So, you know, if you just look around your house, you'll probably find all sorts of things far more imaginative than what we've brought out here today.